Dude, I fucking miss high school.
I know.
That was a good time for me.
I don't want to say you peaked in high school.
I was in my bag, dude. Yeah, it's
So
been
you
a little
peaked
bit
in-
of...
so you peaked in high school.
So what happened was from a like social and that perspective,
Right.
I peaked in high school.
Okay.
Financially, I peaked in university.
Fine.
Yeah, financially, I really peaked in university, like first, second year. I really peaked because I started in mortgages.
Okay.
And then I fucking social down the drain. I gained like 40,
This is so good for the end of the year. I just envision.
I gained like 40, 50 pounds. Are you recording?
Oh,
I gained like 40, 50 pounds.
End of the year.
Hang on.
I peaked in high school.
Yeah,
that's the
bro,
one clip.
but-
Stops after that.
Bro, I peaked in high school.
Okay, socially down the drain.
Right down the drain.
Right, because you were popular in high school.
Very. And then
You were the man. You were a big Coats guy.
I was him, bro.
You were him.
Him.
I just
So anyways-
envision you in like a nice varsity jacket,
Bro,
walking
I was
around.
fucking fit.
I know you were.
So, anyways, decline,
Okay.
health out the window. You know what I'm saying?
White suspenders.
Yeah. Then I'm walking around with like hair on my chest and a barrel with the button fucking, wearing suspenders because the pants won't hold
Oh
up.
my God. When did you walk around with the barrel? When is this? Like
Yeah,
after
like-
university?
No, this is like when I started as an MMS. Bro.
Oh,
I had a
okay,
barrel,
okay.
Wearing dress shirts that don't fit.
Yeah, they're a little tight.
Okay.
That's okay.
Fine. Then you fast forward. So that's like, that goes on for like, I don't know, at least 5 years.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And now I'm aging like fine wine.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And like this is a great segue into, I think, episode 2.
Let's just start with it. The mindset of a rainmaker.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. Mindset of a rainmaker.
The daily habits.
Okay,
Because
let's start there.
what I've figured out, and I had a really serious problem with this when I was starting out as a self-employed, one-man operation at the bank, that if I worked all day and just grinded all day, I used to sit in the branch parking lot at 6 a.m. because I would tether my computer to their Wi-Fi, wait for the opener to come at 7, let me in so I can start working. And I was working at an 8 to 8 branch, so which means I was there from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I like nutrition wasn't something I was really focused on, nor was exercise. And in my head, the way I perceived a reward at the end of a 14 to 16 hour day was to just go eat whatever I want. And I did that consistently for so long. And that's so counterintuitive. And what I'm going to is that investing in your human capital, both your body, mind, and your spirit, is the one thing that has allowed me to go from, let's call it, 100 million to 200 million, independent of, having the right, people around you that can help support the business. So investing in human capital has been single-handedly one of the best things that's happened to me, specifically as I go into my 30s now. Regular exercise, reading books all the time, going to seminars, just really taking the time to learn and not look back. I have this fear that I always think back and say, I wish I would have known this when I was this age. So I'm trying to be in a mindset where I'm always intentionally learning. And it's really paid a lot of dividends. Good sleep, exercise, being around people that you love, has just made my life spectacular from that.
Yeah, so we're changing a little bit of the show. The next 8 to 10 episodes are going to be really 25, 30 minutes of just pure gold. Yeah. And so this first one is the mindset of a rainmaker. And I think that is you. So I think for this one here, we'll try something a little bit different. I have a couple keywords or themes that I'm going to throw out, and we'll try to keep it really clean on where that stands or where it takes you, right? Have creativity with it. But the daily habits of a top performer. So there's going to be a couple topics, a couple themes I'm going to throw to you, and I really want you to run with how you continuously are a rainmaker and how you've gone from year 1 to this is going to be year 5 or 6? Year
like
6
as a broker, or
well in mortgages.
2017 May 1st I started.
Right. So year 7 technically.
Yeah.
To exceed over 200 million, right?
Yeah,
so let's start with resilience? Because
So
you already talked about being, having that, but
Yeah.
resilience, like what comes to mind?
so that's gonna tie into my why.
Okay.
And I just want to preface. I don't know what he's about to ask me.
Yeah.
So like this is all off the cuff. So
Yeah.
I'm very disciplined in the mind, and it's something that I didn't really realize until I started exercising that muscle. But I'm very, very disciplined in the mind, and I know what my goals are. From one of the first episodes we've ever done on the show, we said the story about you asking me how much money do I want to earn on an annual basis, and that hasn't changed. In fact, it's likely grown. So my goals and my why, which is my family, has never changed. So my resilience has to do with me attaining the goals that I've set out for myself. And that goal is a mega goal. And then inside of that, I have smaller goals. I note everything. I journal everything. If I'm ever confused in the mind, I write it down right away. Okay, I map it out on paper, which we learned from Chris, right? I did that before, but I kind of learned from him that you got to mind map all the time, and you got to get your ideas in writing. Sometimes my best thinking is done on airplanes. And the truth is, sometimes I'll just book a flight, just take a flight, and then just to come home, because I'll sit and I'll just type on my notes. Nobody bothers me. So I understand and I'm aware of where I'm most productive and how, and where my best ideas come from. So in terms of resilience, I haven't come to where I need to go, and I never forget where I'm going, and it's always keeping me motivated, resilient, and sharp up here.
Okay, I like that. To layer on resilience, rejection management.
I love being rejected. So I think that failure is one of the most important things to me. When I'm a big process guy when it comes to my business, I'm always changing things. You can reinvent yourself every day, every minute, every hour. It's the best thing about business. It'll never die. So what I do is try to work on massive failures every day. And the bigger the failure, the closer I get to my goal.
Okay, so how in the beginning, if you scale back and we go back to the beginning, how did you manage or how did you deal with being rejected, not getting deals or being turned away because it started coming?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that try to understand why the opportunity wasn't attained by me. What was my shortcoming? Look in the mirror. Don't blame others. Take responsibility, pivot, move forward, try again. If it works, press on it. If it doesn't work, pivot again.
Okay, I like it. This is obviously very key for a mindset of a rainmaker. Morning routines.
Dude, the morning for me is so important. My struggle sometimes is that I end up working a little later than I'd like to, and end up going to bed a little bit later than I'd like to, and that's just a function of me getting my bearings in the processes that we're changing internally. But my best, based on the last 7 years of trial and error, is I wake up at 5:30. I do my usual hygiene routine. I pray in the morning. It's very important to me to take 20 minutes, 30 minutes to just connect with what I need to connect with, and just take a moment to reflect and say thank you. It keeps me really sane and grounded, and that's one key factor for me. I also really enjoy working in the morning. I find that I'm most productive in the morning. I have the most amount of energy. I have the most amount of will. I'm very clear in the mind, which is why I don't like to exercise in the morning, because I don't want to fatigue myself. So wake up, hygiene, pray, work. Now, when it comes to work, I'm very intentional and non-reactive. Because it's not business hours, I'm not incoming. So there's no phone calls coming in, emails I can deal with as I like. So I'm very intentional on growth, setting up underwriters, setting up operations, setting up administration, so that when they come into the office between 7 and 9, they know exactly what's ahead of them. And I've effectively offboarded exactly what needs to happen so that they can be intentional in pushing the business forward, and I can be reactive for them with whatever is incoming for the day until 5 p.m. And then I can reset and be intentional again for them for the next day.
So morning routine, very, very strong for you. We continue to talk about mindset. You mentioned the word productivity. The mindset of a rainmaker. How important is productivity?
It's the most like, it's the one area of focus that I spend at least 90 minutes on every day. I know that it's very important to prospect every single day, and I do really try to prospect every day. My dream is to build such a system internally that it's so operational that whether we're doing 1,000 mortgages a year or 5,000 mortgages a year, there's not an ounce of extra effort deployed because the system is so bulletproof. And that's what I wake up thinking about. It's what I eat lunch thinking about. It's what I eat dinner thinking about. It's what I go to sleep thinking about.
We're going to save systems for another episode because I think that's very important what you built. Yeah. Let's stay on productivity for a second. So your productivity now is you put aside 90 minutes to prospect every day and you want to be really efficient.
Yep.
Let's rewind to when you're a one-man show.
Yeah, it's different level of production. I often think of those days, and I never want to be, and I'm sure I am, in customers' conversations to say, he started off on his own and it was really, really good, and now he's getting really busy, and it's not as an effective, efficient, or clean process as it was when I was doing a deal for somebody 7 years ago. It's a different process now, and I never want somebody to feel, he's too big. And that's a struggle that I often struggle with internally, and also like people will comment, right? So that's an important piece for me. But the big difference is that I have the opportunity to empower the people that work with me to be able to be customer first and really give that really strong customer experience while owning their domain inside of the process and having that satisfaction that they are such a pivotal and important part of the process that without them, that doesn't move forward. That it makes me super happy to see that kind of development internally, and it'll only get better. And the problem with a founder or a sole mortgage broker is that they want to see results right away. But it takes a long time to develop a new underwriter. Sometimes it could take years, or develop a new admin person. It could take years. You just got to stick through it. You got to believe in your people. You got to love your people, and you got to support your people. And that's not to say that things aren't going to be hard. They are going to be hard. But if you really, stick to understanding and being process driven, you can build a really beautiful business that relies on your expertise and allows other folks to help you kind of manage the back end.
So does the evaluation of productivity change as years go on, or would you evaluate you being productive today any different than when you were, when you first started as an MMS, when you were first broker? Like, productivity has to change in your day to day, but how do you evaluate if a day was productive or not?
It's something that I struggle with for sure. I think that, you made a comment to me earlier today. You said the business should be getting easier, not harder. And with technology, that's very true. So yes, definitely, productivity is changing all the time, and it's becoming much easier to run the business just from a technology standpoint. I empower the team to really make an effort to have no work to do. Okay. So my dream for them is that they come to me and they say, I have nothing to do. Like, give me something.
Yeah.
That's how I know the system's working.
Right.
So how do I measure what is an effective day? We recently started using a new system. It's a mortgage based system. It's called Quattro. It's been really effective for my group. It's really niche, and it's really something that we've grown into, and allows me to track everybody's metrics. So depending on what role they're in, like what they're doing and how we're pushing the business forward, it also gives us visibility on finding out what the problems are before they become problems. And that's a big problem I'm finding in the mortgage industry as a general. Everyone's super reactive, right? Because you're always waiting for a bank or a lawyer or a customer or this. But how do you become proactive when you're funding 50, 60, 100 deals a month? It's really tough. So technology is a very, very key implementation that we had to kind of integrate into our team, because we were very paper-based in terms of like tracking, and now we're not. And it's only going to get better. And the folks that are afraid that a computer is going to take their job, I just think that's never going to happen. I think that a computer is going to make your job way easier. It's going to make you way more efficient. You'll be able to get to more people faster and better. But it's never, or at least for the foreseeable future, it's not going to be able to replace the interaction, the nimbleness needed in a mortgage transaction, or the nuance required to, think into the future. But I think it is going to make people super effective. I use AI, and I know it's a bit of it's kind of a fad, but I think it's really going to develop into something that's going to be sustainable in the marketplace for a long time. But, even something as simple as, writing out emails has become no longer a chore. Like, I remember the days, Paul, when I would need your help in typing out emails because, you have so much experience and you know how to handle certain things. And I was just a green new mortgage agent or a mobile mortgage specialist. And I'm dealing with this complicated, nuanced mechanism that is called a mortgage. And, I'm getting these intricate questions asked on email. And I guess people want to have stuff in writing. Like it's going to change the landscape completely.
For sure. I agree. Last word on this one, continuous learning. So not so much about like systems or in this space, continuous learning from a mindset perspective, if you, just to hone in on that.
For me, mental stimulation is very important in every facet of my life. So, something as simple as having a conversation with somebody new, I need to be mentally stimulated because otherwise I just check out. And it's something I'm certainly working on, but it's an important character trait for me. And I like to learn about all kinds of different things and listen to different opinions. And I really enjoy podcasts. I really enjoy getting my news delivered on podcasts. I think that's where the future is going. I'm watching less and less of news that I used to watch. I find that the news is there. It's big marketing, and I like the rawness of podcasting, and I like having the different flavors that I can listen to. So I have a few podcasts that I listen to on a daily basis. I have a bit of a short attention span kind of with this kind of stuff, which everyone in this day and age does, unfortunately. So I listen to the podcasts at 1.25 or 1.5 speed, and I find that I'm collecting more and I'm getting through them faster, and I'm picking out what I like. And I listen to all kinds of podcasts, health and wellness, mortgage related, business related, politic related. I like this one podcast. It's called I think it's called The School of Life. I think he's great. I like listening to different perspectives and really tying back to how can I use this very valuable information and not only give it to the people that are around me, like you do all the time, and regurgitate it in a way that they will understand and maybe make their lives better. But how can I make my own life better? And I can't remember the last time I listened to music in the car.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's okay. So just to pull it all back, daily habits: reflect, connect in the AM, intentional, not reactive, especially in the morning. You like to prospect at least 90 minutes a day, and you like to be mentally stimulated. So you're getting your news delivered daily to you in the morning, which catches you up, and then that also helps you decide what you're going to send out to your COIs and all those other types of things.
So yeah, I set up an agent mode on ChatGPT where I've asked it to every day at 8 in the morning give me all the relevant mortgage news in Canada, as well as world news, as well as some investing news that I like to look at. So every morning I get a full breakdown that's for my eyes. And then for the mortgage piece, not only does it give me for my eyes so I can digest, understand, and then be able to give better advice to customers, it gives me a client-facing note. And then I can kind of pick and choose. And then I have one of my staff. She puts it into a like a nice little infographic kind of thing. I don't know how she does it. She does a great job. And then if I like the content for that day, she'll send it out. And if I don't like the content for that day, we'll save it for another day. But people have been really, really happy about it. And it's automatic. And I get it every morning.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you continue to be a Rainmaker. Thanks for sharing these daily habits. I hope there's a lot of good gold nuggets of it.
Yeah, I think that, there was a lot of information there. I hope that it was, linear enough that it could be followed. If it was a little scattered, I'm sorry. But if anybody has any questions, we should, give them your email, and they should email us. And if there's any topics that they want to hear or have us talk about, I think that there's so much opportunity right now in this business. I think that if you strip down and reinvent yourself, like today, it'll pay tons of dividends in the future. And you can do it. Like you say it all the time. You can reinvent yourself every day. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been great.
Amazing. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.